Hey there, welcome to Clarity Tarot. Today's topic is what is the spiritual invitation for you in 6 words or less. I really liked this 6 words or less reading that I did, maybe a week or two ago now on the channel. And this idea is from Siren Tarot, if you've ever been over there on her channel. Sometimes, I don't know if you're like me, but listening to an entire tarot reading, like, it's a very intuitive process. You get what you get from it, but sometimes I walk away and I'm like, what was the bottom line from that message? What was most important? And I don't always feel totally clear about it. So my hope is that with today's reading, you'll have a very clear, very pithy, like 6-word statement about what God is inviting you to at this moment in time. And this is timeless. You can come back. You might have a different invitation, different times. And we'll see how this goes. I'm interested to see what you think and see what I think too, I guess. So we're going to have 5 different piles. Pile 1 is number 37, the Fairy Ring. And these are all from Oracle of the Shapeshifters. I'll pull some tarot also in each pile. So that's pile 1. It says at the bottom, new skills, advanced training, rapid improvements. Pile 2 is Miss Spiderweb, number 14. Reconsider your alliances, make new connections. Pile 3, we have Hedgehog Love, positive, uplifting, new friends, number 10. Pile 4, we have Snake Princess, the Serpentine Path to Power, number 42. And number 5, we have Orca Magic, the Akashic Libraries Open, number 43. Okay, so take a moment, pause the video if you need more time, and I will see you at your reading. Timestamps are in the description box. Hey there, Pile 1, how are you? Thank you for being here today. If you picked number 37, the Fairy Ring, this will be your reading. And so, Spirit, for pile number 1, please, what is the spiritual invitation that you want to give them today? So we're going to pull some tarot, and then I'm going to write down for you in 6 words or less the invitation from Spirit. So also I should mention, I put them all upright because it'd be easier for you to select, but this card, when it came out, actually was reversed. So I'm going to set it back reversed and see how that impacts the reading. So I think that was intentional on Spirit's part. So King of Pentacles, 10 of Cups in the reverse. Okay, we've got 3 more. 8 of Swords, King of Wands in the reverse, and 2 of Swords. Okay, so the invitation for my pile 1s, 6 words or less. Okay, pile 1, here is your message. A little less conversation, more action, please. Spirit is inviting you to put into practice all that you know and believe and understand already. So you might not know it all. You might have new skills that you want to acquire spiritually or just elsewhere in your life. You may be focused on everything that needs to improve, but for this message to be coming through, I think perhaps there's maybe been an abundance of focus in the past about what's the right move for me to make? How should I think about this? What new message do I need to understand in order to be spiritually well? How do I grow? Instead of more of the, let's say, like trial by error way of learning. You know what's coming to mind? This is a really cheesy phrase, but it's something I used to hear like in youth group in the church, and it was that God can steer a moving car much more easily than one that's parked, which I always thought was kind of ridiculous because, like, if we're talking about God, can't God steer any kind of vehicle without it being like functionally on? It kind of makes sense to me, but I think you get the point, which is that as you're moving, as you're putting your faith into practice and your actions into practice, it'll be easier for Spirit to bring you those messages, to direct you. There might be some like stagnant or swampy energy in you right now, and you might be trying to figure out like, what is this about? Like, why is this happening? And so like you're focused on the insight, and that's a great thing. It's a strength for you, pile one. There's nothing wrong with that. And now is the time for you for some boots on the ground, for you to actually take some actions. Now, if you're not sure what that action would be, let's pull a card for you. I'm getting that it really could be anything. Like maybe you've been thinking about starting a meditation practice, or finding a spiritual community, or even like starting to read tarot for yourself, which, by the way, probably a good time to mention, like this is my spiritual practice, part of it, reading tarot and supporting you all, and hopefully strengthening that thread that you have to your own intuition and to your own relationship with God. But there is nothing like extraordinary or special about me in particular. You can get your own guidance. You can pick up a tarot deck, or even just a playing card deck, which is how I got started, and just start communing with spirit through it. And, say your prayers of protection, pray to whoever you pray to, and start communicating that way. But for a more specific, we have the Hanged Man in reverse. So if there's anything that you've been like mulling over and over in your mind, trying to figure out like, what's the best way to do it? Should I do it this way or that way? You would know what this is, pile one. It's an area of your life or your spiritual practice where you've been spending all your time thinking about it instead of doing. Even if it's something like, let's take like the finding a spiritual community thing, for example. Maybe it's even like you're trying to figure out which tarot readers to follow online. This is just an example. And maybe you're watching lots of videos. Maybe you're watching how people interact in the comment section. Maybe you haven't made a comment. Maybe you haven't reached out to anybody directly to like meet face to face and have a conversation over video or whatever. There's things like that you could do that would start to expand your experience. Okay, so I think this was your invitation from Spirit for today. Let me know what you thought, pile one. Leave a comment, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you're not already. If you are subscribed, thank you so much and welcome back, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, pile two. If you picked Miss Spiderweb, reconsider your alliances, make new connections, this will be your reading. And let's see what tarot cards you have. We're asking for pile two, please, Spirit, what is an invitation you want to make to them? For pile two, and we will distill it to 6 words or less. Have the Strength card out first. Aren't my nails fabulous? I just had them done yesterday. I always get so excited right after I have them done. The Magician in reverse. Ooh, interesting. 2 major arcana so far. Invitation for pile 2. Lovers in reverse. 3rd major arcana. Wow. And look what we have here. The Star. High Priestess in the reverse and Moon in the reverse. Justice in the reverse on the back of the deck. Okay, let me get your message and write it out for you. Okay, pile 2, your message is out with the old, start new. Which I'm kind of cheating because if I had more words, I would have said out with the old, in with the new. But hopefully you'll forgive me. So the invitation for you spiritually, there's something about your spiritual community currently that doesn't suit where you are right now. And this doesn't mean that it wasn't really important for you at some time. It's a different story for each of you. For some of you, this was like maybe never your vibe or never your people exactly. But for others of you, it was really important for you at one time, but no longer, not today. It reminds me of a quote from Evelyn Underhill, who is a writer I really like. On The Inner Life, if you like to read, check her out. But she has a quote that I'm about to butcher right now, which is something like, one of the most important things to attend to in our spiritual life is our spiritual practices and understanding which ones we're engaging with, and if there are some that were either never in our nature to get a lot of meaning from, or we've currently outgrown. And the first time I heard this, it really blew my mind. Like, wait, are you saying you can outgrow things? Like, growing up as a very fundamentalist Christian, the idea of like you can outgrow reading the Bible, for example, is like, a scandalous thing to think or to say. But there is something like that here, where there's a particular spiritual practice or community that does not suit where you are right now for whatever reason. And the right now is different for all of you. Some of you, it's been like right now and not ever, but for others of you, it's like more a recent thing. But either way, I mean, look at I don't know that I've ever had a reading that was 100% major arcana before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 major arcana in a row. And I think there's something you're getting from this spiritual community or practice that you're a part of right now that isn't spiritual. And I'm going to give you an example. Like, maybe you get a sense of belonging because you go to a particular spiritual group and it makes you feel like you're part of something, even if you don't really agree with the way that they talk, or even if you're not growing from the way spirituality is talked about, you could still get some like emotional needs met. So that's just a side message for some of you. You want to consider like what purpose is this serving for me, and how can I meet my spiritual needs more directly? Again, for myself, like, I went to church for many years, and I would say this even to a large extent, maybe 80% describes me now. Like, church for me was a social thing. Like, I wanted to connect with people that also prioritized a spiritual life, even if I didn't agree with them on a lot of things, or even some big things. To me, it was emotionally supportive to be part of something where people were similarly oriented as I was. But with the out with the old and start new, we have the strength card here. This is like trailblazer energy. It's kind of starting out on your own. I guess for one of you, this could even be like starting your own thing, like start to talk about the things that you're into and let people come to you. But for many of you, this will be exploring other modalities, other faith systems, other spiritual practices to find what really supports you right now. And I think this is a place where beginner's mind would really help you. Like, pretend like you don't know anything about your own spirituality today. How would you start that fact-finding mission of like what works for me? How do I heal? The last thing that I'm getting here with the High Priestess and the Moon reversed, because you're still in this situation that doesn't suit you anymore, it's actually blocking your intuition and creating just a lot of inner chaos, whether this is like, uncomfortable thoughts and feelings or traumas that are coming up from the past, and not in the way of like, this is coming up for it to be released. It's more like agitation. So this would be like, let's say you experience some spiritual abuse in a particular faith system or a particular spiritual community, let's say, and you keep going back to that spiritual community and you get re-triggered about the abuse that you suffered, and like that abuse is ongoing to other people. It'd be something like that. So anything else, Spirit, that you want to bring through for pile 2 for their invitation? Got 2 cards falling. The Emperor and 7 of Swords. This is very specific. So if there's a person in charge of a faith community right now that you would describe as the Emperor, this is actually even reminding me of a tarot reader that I know, because the Emperor is gender neutral. You can be any gender. But if you're getting like a niggling feeling about anybody that you follow or the leader of a spiritual community you're a part of, that like something's not quite right or there's something deceitful that just doesn't add up, like listen to that. Spirit is saying like you're onto something. It doesn't even matter what that thing is. Like that feeling is enough. Once you're starting to get that feeling or that discomfort, it's probably a sign that it's time to move on. Okay, this was your reading, pile 2. I hope it resonated for you. Please like the video if you liked it. Leave a comment if you'd like to share anything about your situation. Subscribe if you want to be notified whenever I upload, and I'll see you next time. Hey, pile 3, if you picked Hedgehog Love, number 10, Positive Uplifting Friends, this will be your reading. So this card actually came out reversed. I just left it upright for the sake of, selecting your pile. So I'm very interested to see what this message will be for you, this invitation for you spiritually. So, okay. I think Spirit is extra excited that you're here. They've been waiting to have your full attention to be able to give you this message. What else for pile 3? We have King and Queen of Cups surrounding the Page of Swords with the Nine of Wands in reverse. 4 of Cups. I have a bunch falling, I'll take them. 10 of Swords, Ace of Swords, 8 of Cups reversed, the Hermit reversed, Page of Wands reversed. Okay, let me just tune in for a moment and get your message in 6 words or less, your invitation from Spirit. Okay, invitation for you, pile 3, is talk to me about something else. So for many of you here, I think there's been a relationship for most of you, so be a romantic relationship or connection that has been really consuming for you. I see a lot of ups and downs here. You are a match. I mean, we have the King and the Queen of Cups coming out like just like that. I mean, that's pretty strong. But I think there maybe have been a lot of cycles of you like miscommunicating with each other, breaking up, making up, whatever. It's very overwhelming. And regardless of the state of your relationship with this person, it is a relationship. It's relational energy. And I see our relationship with Spirit the same way. It's relational energy. So this, like, it seems like this is very all consuming, and a lot of it's on your mind. Okay. So here's the example I'm getting. Like, maybe you have a best friend, and every time you're with your best friend, you 100% of the time you're talking about that person you're dating. Like, here's what's going on with them. Here's the good times. Here's the bad times. And your best friend is like happy to talk with you about that. But if it's 100% of the content, if you're never doing other things together, if you're never talking about other topics, it gets to be unhealthy for both of you, right? It's like your relationship is only about that other person who isn't even there. And there's something similar that's happening in your relationship with Source right now. So Spirit's wanting to invite you to hang out with them and talk about literally anything else other than this relationship, because it's better for you, number one, just to have a little bit of space from everything that's happening here, and for them to be able to connect and share with you in other ways. And some simple things could be, like, here's a very basic one that might apply to one of you. Like, maybe when you watch pick a card readings, you're mostly looking for, how do they feel about me? How to work it out with that person? What do they think of me? Maybe try making that 30% of what you watch, and the other 70% focused on you, on what you want, your career, your connection with Spirit, things that aren't just 100% like the relationship with this person. And you know what's magical? That will actually, I guarantee you, improve your relationship with that person, because it's like there's too much fixated on it right now and it's impacting everything. So Let me just see if there's anything in particular Spirit wants to invite you to talk with them about. Anything else, Spirit? Oh, the Devil. So, okay. Now here's a little cheat code for you, pile 3. Maybe this relationship is very distressing to you. Maybe you see how attached or codependent you can feel with this person. Maybe you feel obsessed and that's upsetting to you. Great. Talk to Spirit about that. Like, Spirit, what do you want me to know about this fixation I have with this person? Or the dependency that I feel on their energy, on their love. And I'm not, lest you think I'm judging you, pile 3, like we have all been here, okay? Like I'm really, truly not. I'm just sharing what's coming through from Spirit. And it's a way, I mean, maybe it'll trick you a little bit to feel like you're still talking about that person, but really you're talking about the way that you're addressing that person, the way that you observe yourself functioning in the relationship. Like talk to Spirit about that. Or if there's any other addictive pattern in your life. And by the way, I would consider, these relationships that many of us have had, there's a lot of us with experience with this. I would describe them as an addiction. Like the energy that comes in with them is so obsessed and fixated and like just waiting for that next fix. So, talk to Spirit about that. Like, what do they want you to know about that? What's important for you to pay attention to? What's positive? What's serving you about this obsession? What's destructive? Like, what is it that Spirit's wanting you to see about it? Even that would be, still very much about this person and the situation, but it's not about trying to get more of a hit from them. Does it make sense? So I hope this made sense to you, pile 3. And anything else, Spirit, about this? Yeah, I think that's the invitation for you. And remember, this is an invitation for you to accept or not. So if you liked it, please like the video. If you want to say anything about this reading, I'd love to see your comments, if it resonated or even if it didn't. And subscribe if you want to be notified when I upload. And see you next time. Thank you so much, pile 3. Pile 4, thanks for coming by. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, you have number 42, Snake Princess, the Serpentine Path to Power. And this actually was coming out reversed. So I just left it upright, for the purposes of you selecting your pile. So we're going to ask Spirit. So Spirit, please, what is the invitation that you have for pile 4 today? Invitation for pile 4, please. We have the Artist in reverse. Ace of Cups. Invitation for pile 4. The Queen of Swords. The Six of Swords in the reverse. Anything else? Okay. Two of Wands in reverse. Anything else for pile 4? Invitation for them. Two of Cups. Bottom of the deck is Knight of Wands in the reverse. Okay, let me tune in here and get your message in 6 words or less. Okay, here's your message, pile 4. Trust yourself. You already know. So Spirit's wanting to tell you today, and the invitation for you to accept or reject is that you actually don't need to search within yourself or a more creative, let's say, or emotional or spiritual, maybe, side of you to know what you do or what you need to do in terms of your spiritual life. Like you already know, you already have some things in place. You're doing it already. You're connecting with Spirit in a way that works. This Two of Cups here represents you and who you pray to. And so the message coming through for you is Like there's nothing to shift, nothing to defend. I'm hearing nothing to what is that? What is that quote that's trying to come through? I'm not getting it. But I think this is going to be a very short reading because Spirit's just wanting you to know, like, there's nothing you need. There's nothing that I can tell you as a reader that you don't already know within yourself through your own spiritual practices. Maybe this wasn't always true for you, Pile 4, but you're there now. You don't need the same level of support that you did in the past. You understand, you're wise, you're connected, you're one with Spirit, which in a sense we all are at all times. But in other ways, like we can drift, we can create blockages, we can stop listening to our intuition, lots of different things can happen. And so even just like having achieved this doesn't mean it's forever, but for right now, everything's great. You're in a really good place. There's nothing different that Spirit wants you to know that you're not already connected to and know within yourself. And it's okay to know those things and have it be like kind of cut and dry, kind of like, well, I know that I get up and I need to meditate for 20 minutes every morning. And that's like the bedrock of my connection to Spirit and my foundation for the day. Okay, great. That's perfect. It doesn't have to be more flowery or creative or magical than that. Like that counts. So let me just see if there's anything else that I didn't say that Spirit wants to bring through for you. I have 2 calls falling. 5 of Wands and the Chariot. Like, just let it flow. Don't fight it. I'm even getting the message that for some of you, like, and this is only if you've been thinking about it already. I'm not, like, trying to push this on anybody. But if you've been thinking about maybe starting to read tarot for yourself or starting to find other ways to connect to God that have been modeled to you by somebody else, this is your go ahead to like, yeah, absolutely, you're ready. That would be a really positive thing for you. Okay, Pile 4. So I hope this was helpful for you. Leave me a like if you liked the video. Comment if there's anything you want to share, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Okay, Pile 5, if you picked Orca Magic, number 43, the Akashic Libraries are open. This will be a reading. Do you know, I have never drawn this card before, so look at this very intense stare that's happening there. Yikes. Okay, so for Pile 5, what is the invitation from Spirit for Pile 5? What do you want them to know, please? Invitation for Pile 5. We have 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. Three of Swords reversed, 9 of Swords reversed, Page of Cups. Anything else for Pile 5? Three of Pentacles. Anything else? Seven of Cups, 6 of Cups, the Tower. Okay. Let me tune in here and get your invitation in 6 words or less. Okay, your invitation, breathe. This person marks the end. So I hope that doesn't sound too ominous, but let me explain this here. Pile 5. I think you met someone, for many of you, this would be someone who's captured your romantic imagination. I'll say it that way. And I think you've resisted this person because it feels like you're going to lose part of yourself, something very important to you. And Spirit is saying, yes, actually, you will lose certain parts of who you used to be because of this new relationship. And you can't actually stop that. There's nothing you can do about that. All you can do is not fight and hopefully make it easier on yourself. Like, accept the changes and look at it as something positive that's going to bring in a new part of you. And there will be challenges and things that are hard, but there will also be beautiful things. So an easy example of this would be the birth of a child. So you could fight the fact that you're going to be a parent. You could reject that. You have choices. You can say, like, I don't want to be a mom. I never want to be a mom. I don't want to be like the other moms that I see. I want to stay who I am today and not ever experience that. Okay, well that is your choice. However, just by nature of you having created a child, like you are a parent. There's no way around that. You can spend your entire life rejecting that. You could give the child up for adoption if that was your choice to maintain like your current way of life. But the question here is, what's the invitation for you? The invitation is to breathe and allow this change to happen. For many of you, I think that change has already begun. So another storyline I'm getting is, let's say you've met this person and things about your life are starting to crumble and you're really upset about that. So you reject them, you ignore them, maybe you ignore your feelings, maybe you're mean to this person, maybe you try to shut them out of your heart and shut them out of your life in every way you know how. Maybe you even have been separated from this person, haven't talked to them in a while. I think if you tell yourself the truth, you would notice that the changes you were afraid would come into your life because of this person have already been happening just because you met them, just because this was already initiated. It's like there's no undoing this. There's no going back. And that might be scary or sad for many of you. I mean, certainly if I was getting this reading, that's how I would be feeling. And those feelings belong. Like, grieve your losses. Grieve the fact that the carefree person you were before you had a child no longer exists in the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's appropriate to do that. It's appropriate to acknowledge what you've lost. But don't lose sight of what is coming in. That could be like joy beyond your expectation. A sense of fulfillment and depth that you never even dreamed of. And that's actually really what I'm getting here, is that there's like this gift, this present that's wanting to be opened, that you are rejecting because of fear of change, fear of loss of who you currently are. But nothing that is central to who you are and essential for your life will be lost. I just don't believe in that. Like, oh man, I mean, I could give so many examples of my own life of things that were really important to me that I thought I couldn't live without, and you lose them and then you're like, well, this is okay. Actually, this is fine. I mean, a big thing for me, just to give an example, would be people understanding where I'm coming from or having a mostly positive reputation. There's certain groups where I have a terrible reputation and I've been maligned and just, ways that a prior version of me would really fight against, and trying to like get the truth out there of who I really am. I don't want all these people to be poisoned against me, but that's actually not in my control. And the more I tried to prevent that, and then it eventually happened anyway, I'm like, okay, well, now I'm here. And there's this subgroup of people that have this impression of me that's not going to change. And now what? Am I okay? Oh, actually, it's kind of freeing. I don't have to do that work anymore. I don't have to try to explain to somebody why the sky is blue, why I'm this way and not that way, when it should be obvious. There's something beautiful about that. And of course, one example, there could be any number of examples for you, but your invitation, and again, an invitation is for you to accept or reject, pile 5. Breathe. This person marks the end. And notice that it says this person, not being with this person, not the way that you interact with them. No, just their arrival. It's done. It's over. It's not even about the way you interact with them. So if you see them as like the architect of your unhappiness or destruction, like they're not. That's not actually about them. They probably have things that they're going through too related to meeting you. So your only option is, do you want to navigate those in communication with each other and in connection and sharing the love that's between you, or not? Really interesting. I'm really curious to hear what you thought about this one, pile 5. If you like the video, leave a comment if you'd like to share anything about your situation. And I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. If you're not subscribed to the channel, click subscribe and then hit the notification bell so you'll know when I upload, which right now is 2 to 3 times a week. And I wish you all the best with this situation. I get it, very triggering, and but I'm trusting, along with Spirit, as is coming through the reading, that this is actually the beginning of a beautiful new you. Okay, that's it. See you next time.